Hey guys, welcome back. We had a good Wednesday in the market, April 14th. Wow, what a day for GME. If you follow me on Twitter, you're seeing kind of different DD that I was sharing and different stuff I'm thinking about GME, and it was actually making me think that it's not going to happen soon. I mean, not too soon, not maybe this week, but that it's maybe being held here for different entities basically to get things sorted out and prepared because they know it's coming, and governing powers, DTCC, OCC, all the CCs, as well as the hedge funds and the market makers and everybody is trying to position themselves to not have this totally collapse the entire economy and to not have the worst fallout basically, so it's not as painful for them. I don't think it changed anything for squeeze or anything like that, but it does change maybe the timing and how it maybe won't happen naturally as far as the timing goes. We might not be waiting for a certain catalyst to kind of bump this thing up. It could be that if the DD I've been reading is right, it could be that it's being held at a certain price. I was saying max pain theory, and it could be that. It could also be it doesn't have to be max pain. It can be in just whatever range. It's just trying to keep it settled down, low volume, not much interest, until things are basically lined up. If you've seen The Big Short, it reminds me of when Michael Burry was calling the banks, calling about his swaps and saying how are those going. Basically, what are they worth now that everybody's defaulting? And they said, oh, sorry, our power went out, or oh, this, and basically all the different banks that he got positions with, all of their power apparently went out at the same time. And this could be kind of that situation where, and then he called him out in the movie, at least. He's like, oh, you're just waiting till you get leverage and position on it, and you can actually make a return also before you accept, I guess, the amount of money I'm going to make on it, more or less, in layman's terms, and that's what I am, a layman. So that could be kind of what we're sitting on now. That being said, that is a nice green candle. But this big spike, as I said yesterday, the max pain of 140, I feel like it'll settle in there if it is the max pain, and you might have these big volatility spikes up or down. I was thinking more like this. Today it was up 20%, and so I was kind of thinking this doesn't seem like a volatility spike. This doesn't seem like something you can just sneeze at and it'll come back down to 140 and settle. As you see now, last 30 minutes, this thing's starting to go again. So with this amount of price action and volume, the volume's not great though, honestly. It's better than it was yesterday, but that's kind of one of the things that sketched me out about it. If you see the volume today so far, we're at 19 million. It's good, and maybe the volume will come in these last 30 minutes or after hours. But I mean, the squeeze, whenever it does start, if it started today, I guess it's got to start with some volume. It's not just going to be insane volume right away. So it's hard to know. But yeah, if you look even at the volume back here, this was just from a bounce, from that huge sell-off. Just from this bounce, we had 50 million volume that day. This volume's still pretty weak. Not to say it's not a good day, and it's setting up a nice bull flag, and being up in this higher range would be good. A couple things I don't like about it are that this basically has just been plummeting down, and it only had like 1.5 days, maybe 2 days to really consolidate and sit at this floor. It typically doesn't just do a V like this and then shoot up. So with what we're seeing here, I mean, it could, this thing, the price on this stock, it's just like, it's like you can't even, I'm so torn on how to play it, because it's like, I'll show you how we played it today. I did get options on it, but yesterday, if you remember, I was trying to sell my options, and I did actually. I was able to sell out of a couple yesterday, and I positioned pretty well, but yeah, with this amount of volume, I mean, even though it's not a crazy amount, with this amount and this much price action, you wouldn't expect it to just die off and do this. And that's where it's like, It did kind of hold up pretty good, kind of set up a bull flag, kind of hung around VWAP. We're seeing a little bump here, towards the close. But and this could be on the news. They had very good news. They paid back all their debt. I don't know if I've had that in the video or not. I guess that happened since last video. I can't remember if I talked about that, but I tweeted out GME paid back all their debt. I think it was all. Maybe it wasn't all of it, but basically it released them, or they're going to pay it back on the. They have up until the 30th, and it released them to be able to offer a dividend, have a merger, an acquisition. When they acquired that debt, they said, we want to borrow this money, and they said, okay, these are the terms. The terms that the lender gave them when they borrowed that debt were yada yada yada. Here's your money, and they had to agree to it. And some of those terms were limiting what they could do, and it makes sense that the lender doesn't want them squandering away their money. If GME wanted to, do different things, clearly they have enough money to pay back the debt. So they said you have to do, you need to pay back our debt before you offer a dividend or try and merge with someone or have an acquisition, or there's a number of different things that basically they're released from doing that they now can do because they're paying back this debt. I think the debt was I can't remember the numbers. They have 600 million in cash. I think the debt was the 250. I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, just releases the kind of the constraints they had with the debt. So if they offer a dividend, that would mean whoever owns shares or whoever has shorts that have borrowed the shares are going to have to pay the dividend. And that would also, I think, trigger them to recall or at least count their share to know who's paying what. So that would definitely initiate a squeeze. We would also get a dividend, and GME also wouldn't be paying most of it, because if there's 500% shares out there, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of different scenarios with what could happen. Them being able to merge, acquire another business. There's tons of bullishness. I didn't realize I could be more bullish. Wasn't even thinking about this debt if it got covered. But basically things are still setting up. Big price action today could be the beginning. Maybe this will kind of react like a normal stock and kind of stay flat in this range now and consolidate. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just go crazy. Maybe it'll be at 300 tomorrow before market opens. On the daily is actually still bearish. MACD, MACD's still coming down. This candle hasn't crossed over the 9 moving average on the daily. RSI is fine. This could just be a bounce back up to that moving average. When I look at it on the daily, that's what it makes me think. It doesn't make me think this is the beginning of something. It just makes me think it's bouncing but still kind of trending down. But at any rate, we're here to make money, and so yeah, you just got to be ready and be prepared. I'll show you what I did yesterday. Like I said, unfortunately I sold out of a call. It was okay. It was a small loss. And then today, once I saw, so I'll tell you guys kind of my timing on it. It opened up strong, and there was good news last night of the debt. I was like, okay, this is great. I almost quick FOMO'd into here, right here, and I was like, no, be patient, because that was a huge deal, And I waited, and then it started to come down and settle, and I was stoked. And then I picked up calls right about here. So I waited not only till it had hit a top and started coming down, I waited till it started coming back up to show that it was going to keep going, and this wasn't just a quick little bounce. Sometimes you can wait till here, till it makes a new high, even here. I kind of anticipate it here just with the increasing volume. And yeah, this is looking strong into the close, honestly. So I maybe should have got more exposure, but I'm good for now. We've got the put credit spread, so that's $500 in credit if GME closes above 145 by this week. So that will actually cover my plays. So that's $504 in credit. I got a 215 call and a 180 call expiring Friday. So pretty conservative strikes, if you ask me, for how GME plays. 180, I thought it can maybe even hit today. 215 is a little further out. I picked these based on the delta. I didn't really have much time to look at the chart. I probably wouldn't have picked at 215 because that's kind of, I would maybe would have picked like 200 because there's kind of resistance there, or then maybe even higher up here where there's, maybe like 250. 215 is kind of in a weird spot. But anyways, the thing swung like crazy. This account is not on, it's a margin account, but it's under 25,000. It's confusing. But anyways, if I sell out in the same day, then I'm restricted to just trading with my cash buying power instead of my margin buying power. You can see right here. So I didn't want to sell it back out. I bought them today, and I didn't want to do that. But anyways, I want to show you what these things are doing. Right now, the 180 calls up 124%. The 215 calls up 55%. At one point, after I bought that, the 215 calls down. I think it went down all the way to like down negative 30%. Maybe I bought these here. At some point they were down. Oh, up here maybe they were down like 30%, or even here. But they've come back up, as you see. Sentiment's still high. But just look at the swings on these things. And this is what's difficult for me in GME. If I'm thinking, oh, it's beginning to squeeze, I get emotional, I guess. I don't know, but I'm thinking I want to hold this until Friday, because if it's at $500 a share by Friday, or even $200 a share by Friday, or $300 a share by Friday, these will be worth so much. But I'll just show you what the price of these. So the 215. Give me the data. Why would you do that? Why? Now that I'm recording a video, you showed it to me all day. Okay, let me look on here. Maybe it's on here. Look at the 215. Great. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so these options, the 180 call was worth like $2,000 right here. And then the 215 call was worth, what was it? Was it 15? Was it $2,000? No, it was worth like 1,600. And the 215 call is worth like 400, something like that. I don't know. I was basically up like $2,000 just from right here. And now they've come back down. They've settled back down. This one's worth 412. This one's worth 135. I'm gonna hold it because the rule. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I go to close, preview, day trading, 90-day restriction. It's not a huge deal. I could change over to that, but I'd like to be able to use this margin buying power for credit spreads. I don't want to be limited to my cash buying power, because credit spreads is really how I've made money, I guess. The naked calls and stuff, it's kind of gambles. But yeah, so we're looking good for tomorrow if it keeps going. I've only got 2 calls, but those could be crazy. I might switch over to debit spreads, because now the volatility on this, the IV is gotten high just from this bounce where it's high, 400%. That's pretty high for 2-day expiration. So I might start doing debit spreads tomorrow, get exposure for next week, or tomorrow on a dip. Really don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know if I'm going to hold these calls all the way till Friday though, depending on how tomorrow looks, because yeah, I gotta lock in profits with this thing. It's not going to be a clear cut straight squeeze. As you see here, they cost like 500, and I guess a little bit more, like $600. But our credit spread here is giving us 500. So if nothing else, if GME just closes above 145 and these go to 0, we've only come down $100 on it. But I could leg into these two, basically sell another call at a higher strike, and I'll probably do that, or I might just sell them. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But GME is looking good. I don't think there was any other news. I mean, them buying back their debt is huge, and that might be all the catalysts we need to start it. However, DTCC, OCC, all these different things aren't in effect yet as far as causing certain things. I have read that they've buying all their deep in the money calls like they've been doing. The hedge funds has subsided and they're not doing that anymore. So that could be part of the reason that this is working, or part of the reason that they weren't able to hold the price down today. Also, if you look, there's a website, well, the Max Pain theory or whatever. There's a website actually. It's Maximum. I tweeted it. Maximum Pain. Actually, really cool. You don't even have to calculate it. Here you go. Maximum-pain.com. You type in your ticker and for what expiration on the options. Does all the calculations for you and tells you maximum pain. So max pain is $140. I don't know when all I would want to need this calculation for any sort of trading I was doing. It's not been until GME that I even knew about this max pain deal going on. So I don't know, but it's really cool. It does it all for you. It also has options. IV. This website has a lot of cool stuff. If you guys are into it. But yeah, GME's looking pretty good, pretty strong to the close, honestly, with this bull flag. I've got enough exposure though. Watching Coinbase IPO, didn't play it. IPO's typically risky on the first day. If you day traded, I guess you could have made a nice chunk right here or down here, but yeah, I'm not doing that. I might buy into it as a swing after a few days, see how it goes. Kind of like I'm doing on Roblox. Roblox IPO'd, I liked it, I wanted it, but I wanted to be patient with it. And we were, and it's paid off. So with Roblox, I bought it like here. So yeah, I could have gotten a better price point here, but I didn't know what the chart was gonna look like. But now once it was here, the chart looked nice and I was ready for this run up, and then it did the run up, and today it sold off, but it's still bullish on the daily. You know, this was a crazy run yesterday. What's her name? Nancy Pelosi bought 10,000 shares or something that she just reported. She bought them back here, but she was reporting them yesterday. That might have been part of the push yesterday. On the hourly, looks like kind of hit a top, but there's support here, so it might hold up. On our long-term account today, GME's up 248. Great. Rocket's down, of course. Tesla's down. Tesla actually had a big sell today. Corsair was up a little bit. Yeah, Corsair was actually bumping for a bit, and then I think the SPY kind of brought it down. It kind of came down with the market. Getting all excited. Like Corsair was up 2% today. Wow. And of course, Rocket sucks, and their stupid spike was unbelievable, and it's getting held down by shorts. And that's why I sold a covered call, and that's why this covered call is working. Yeah. And that's also why all these contracts are going to expire worthless on Corsair and Rocket. Screw you. TD Ameritrade account, good today, just because GME is up almost 18%. Roblox came down. Firm is down. It was interesting watching Coinbase with the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and the SPY. It seemed like it kind of had a correlation. It was pretty crazy. Kind of how this swung things around. But one of the DDs I was reading talking, oh, what was that? It was talking about Coinbase. Oh, one of the guys I watch on YouTube, maybe. I don't know. I was hearing it somewhere about how I mean, you can see on the charts the cryptos are all way overbought. So I'm expecting a correction there. I'm hoping for it because I'd like to buy in. But that might all come down with the market, and that might all happen and be correlated with GME. One thing people aren't talking about that I noticed, I don't even know if there might be news about it, if I can find, was Credit Suisse again. I didn't see it anywhere on Reddit about Credit Suisse selling more Discovery. It was on the news. I saw it on different stuff. Discovery resumes slide on more Credit Suisse selling report. Credit Suisse dumped, look at this, dumped $2 billion of stocks Tuesday, including Discovery. So people thought that it was done, and they're not done. And that's kind of a concern. That definitely will bring volatility to the market if they continue to sell off positions, and people thought that that it was all over, but it's apparently it's not all over. I didn't even look at Discovery today, but not a whole lot of impact. Was it Discovery B? Weird. Up 30% today. Discovery B, one has like more shareholder leverage or power, and the other one has less shareholder power. This one of these is due for a short squeeze. I don't know. Let's see what else we did on E-Trade. I think that was okay. So I bought 3 of those. Okay, I bought 3 more Rocket calls, and then I bought those GME calls. So the Rocket calls were on these. I tried to average down. It was so cheap I had to do it. So now my average cost on these is 67. Rocket I'm kind of expecting to squeeze with or sometime around GME. So I'm kind of hoping for it. And since it doesn't have as much exposure to the public, I guess, the options I'm hoping are cheaper, relatively cheaper, and we can bank on that. But GME looks good today. On the hourly chart, it's a little the volume's still low, so for this to be like a false breakout, it seems awful strong, but it could be because this is such a volatile stock and so highly manipulated that this might just be a false breakout, and it could kind of just trade in this range now, this 140 to 170 ish, I guess, because if you look on the daily chart, it's still bearish. I mean, We need to have green candles crossing over that 9 moving average. MACD's got to settle and cross over. So when I say that stuff, that would make me want to leg into my options. See, that's the tough thing. If I'm looking at the charts, I'm like, but then on the hourly, this is a nice bull flag. But it's so choppy. I gotta keep it. I gotta keep him. Gotta keep naked. Gonna do it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter at HappyMoneyYT. And you get some updates from me. Peace out.